Welcome to humanity. This is our one.
Whatever it takes, we got to stop. Whatever it takes is what it took.
This is Brock Lesnar, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Yo, hi, this is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to listen to Fight Net Radio.
Lee Harvey Oswald, what's your name? How am I supposed to know you?
This is Frank Shamrock. We're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Hi, this is Nia, the Knockout St. John. You're listening to Fight Net Radio, and there's no way I would ever touch Lee.
This is Chuck Jackson of the
I am Stephen Bonner, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Dan Henderson, you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio, where Lee's burning every bridge there is out there. All right.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
Hey, I'm the king of the world! Hold it, you're not that crazy. I'm a bad man! I took up the world!
Hi, everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio. I hope one of you want a shirt. I don't know yet, because if you listen to this show, we record this Saturday. We don't watch college football. We don't. We're not college football people. We're pro football people. And pro football's tomorrow, and we have a lot of it. And Andrew's got to go to the game. It's a thing.
No, we're in Baltimore, Lee.
You're in Baltimore.
Huge game for us.
What is food like? Look, I'll take some erroneous time out. I've already gotten my Sunday food because they're not televising the Chargers in L.A. They are charging. They're putting the Rams on against the Raiders. I get 4 games in L.A. now. So I get 2 morning and 2 afternoon games. Does that happen in the Bay Area? Do you get 4 televised games?
No,
ever?
No, I don't. Just 2.
We just officially moved to 4 televised games there because the Rams are playing in the afternoon, right? So the Rams on one channel, the Raiders on one channel, then 2 morning games. So I get to see that KC New England thing. I think it's KC New England, but there's a lot going on in the morning.
Yeah, most of the time for us, it's Raiders, Niners, and then that you go to the ESPN late game. You know.
Yeah, sure. What's your go-to food for tomorrow? I'm going tacos tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have a party right after the game, so we're not gonna go too big for the game because I'll be.
Are they coming over to your house, or you're going?
No, I have to go to a birthday party. Yeah.
Kids party, adults.
Adult.
Are we bringing kids or mom coming to watch?
No, we got to bring them. It's a Sunday. It won't be.
Okay.
I don't really, parties on Sunday. I don't know what that really means because got to go to work Monday.
That just means that you drink half as much.
Yeah. And I hope the Raiders win, Lee. Jeez almighty. It's a long day if we lose a 10 a.m. game.
Yeah, it will be for you. So we're recording on Sunday night. There's no boxing tonight for us to watch. There just isn't, for whatever reason. I got my boxing fix in. Hopefully you listened to the last show. Hopefully you're the person who won a Roy Jones Jr. t-shirt. Good for you. I was at the D on Friday night. I love sitting that close. I actually know some of the promoters and some of those people. It is interesting to watch. This is going to make it sound like I actually care about boxing. So if you want to pull down the veil of this show for a minute as a listener, you have to understand, when you do a promotion on that level, Roy Jones Jr. boxing is not top rank. It's not Golden Boy. What they do is they find younger talents, they build them up, right? Give them a place to marquee. Those people put money into those particular fighters. Those groups then take them to a bigger promoter, to like a Main Event, to a Golden Boy, to a Top Ranker, to a PBC. There are groups behind almost every fighter as a pro who's at about 15-0. There is somebody behind that fighter. There is a team. Those teams need places to fight on a regular basis. Roy Jones runs a couple of venues. He runs Vegas. He runs Florida. It's a very successful. Thompson out in Ontario. And you're probably saying, I've never heard of this guy, but I'm sure you've heard of Chris Arreola. And Chris Arreola is pretty happy that Thompson Boxing exists because that's where he came from. Sergio Mora, the Latin Snake, came out of Thompson Boxing. So these promotions are a feeder system into the bigger promotions, which feed into HBO and Showtime. That's kind of how it all works. Then guys like Rock Nation came along and 50 Cent's little organization came along and they wanted to do their own version. They want to be money behind the boxers. They say they're promoters, but they don't really promote events. What they promote is the boxer. There are people who promote the event. That's called promoting. There are people who promote the fighter individually. They're called promoters. It's kind of stupid if you want to. I would rather it be, okay, this is the team behind the fighter. That's his group. So when you look at the bottom of a fight card and it's got banner promotion, top rank, blah, 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 they have money invested on either a fighter or the event or one of the fights at the event. You can have a promoter for one specific fight of the event under an umbrella of another promoter who's taking on the entire event. So Roy Jones Jr. could be doing the entire event. He's not. That's actually Okay, so Roy Jones Jr. is the one running the whole fight. There's a promoter for each of the fight. Like, it goes on. It's endless. How'd I do? Did I explain it correctly?
I don't know. Kind of lost me there, Lee. The hell were you talking about?
I know. I think I'm right.
I think I'm right.
I'm pretty sure I was right. But there's people listening to this and there are writers going, yeah, that's kind of the right explanation, mostly. For those of you that are regular casual fans, you don't care. And what you care about is what we're going to talk about next. By the way, my name's Lee Honish. That's Andrew Labouche. But you already knew that. Now we're talking our favorite thing, News of the Week, brought to you by Roy Jones Jr. Boxing. Why do they get an extra rub this week? Because Roy signed the shirt for you. So I will tell you, go visit Roy Jones Jr. Boxing. November is the next knockout night at the D. And guess when they're doing theirs?
When? Oh, the night before. Come on.
No, they're not that crazy, but it would have been funny, right? So they're doing it the weekend in the middle. So for those of you who don't know what's going on in November, first you have Manny.
Right.
I think there's
That's
a
right.
UFC somewhere in there. Then the next weekend, they're doing a knockout night at the D.
Manny's last fight in America.
And then behind that,
Ward.
you've got Kovalev Ward. And I should be in Vegas for all three, I think. I'm already tired. Oh, and Andrew, we will probably be doing a live broadcast, probably Kovalev Ward from Roy Jones Jr. Gym, which is different than Roy Jones Jr. Boxing, which is different than Roy Jones Jr. the Boxer. Are you confused yet?
I almost had a heat stroke the last time I was in Roy Jones' gym. Remember that, Lee?
Yeah, but it's a nice gym.
Oh, it's a great gym. It was my fault. It wasn't the gym's fault, Lee. I'm the out of shape fat ass that thought he could walk into a 118-degree gym and not drink enough water.
Let me tell you.
That was deadly.
The place that I work out at has no AC, and rolling on the mats for a couple of hours is unreal. And we've been having record heat in LA. It's been pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, Billy was training. He was training, so it was hot.
That's the way it should be. You know, you should have a breathing restrictor on your face. You should be hyperventilating, and it should be hot and nasty.
Yes, sir.
That's the way to train if you want to be a world champion. So with all that said, we're going to talk news of the week, and we're going to start right off at the top with Manny Pacquiao aligning himself with Adolf Hitler. I don't know how else to preface this story for those of you who don't understand. Manny Pacquiao won an election, and he is, if I get this correct, Andrew, he is a senator.
Yes.
In the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The president of the Philippines is a lunatic.
Yeah, madman, yes.
Madman, legit. Like Imelda Marcos shooting people, crazy Filipino president, crazy.
Hey, Lee, let me give you, before we even talk about what he just did, I'll give you a little bit of his history. There was a high-profile rape case that had happened in the Philippines, and the president's comments was the girl was so pretty, he would have went first if he was there. And then when they asked him to apologize for talking like this, he said she should have took it as a compliment. So the dude's a total, this guy was a scumbag a long time before Manny Pacquiao dropped this bombshell this week about backing this president on what he's doing right now. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. And I would hope that all of you are up to date on your current events and actually know that you're up to date in knowing that about the world. I think it's important. I think the U.S. is actually planning on intervening because it is that, like, he's that far gone. I mean, like, there's rumors of death squads and executions now going on in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, Lee, this man has executed over 3,000 people that are either drug users, drug sellers, somehow connected. Now, that could be all fine and not all fine. Listen to me. If they're doing it the right way, Lee, if there's some kind of law behind it, they have evidence, they have surveillance, strong evidence. He's the president. He can do what he wants. There's nothing we can do about this. It's not our country. But let me tell you, right now they're talking about people are being executed who just get on the bad side of people with power. I mean, soon as you piss the wrong guy off, he can come and tell the cops, no, this dude or this lady is a drug dealer. We need to get rid of them, and they're being executed like nothing. Over 3,000. Manny Pacquiao's quote: God, the president, Mr. How do you say his name? Mr. Scumbag.
Just call him Scumbag.
Was anointed by God to discipline the Philippine people, and his authority must be respected. Look at Manny's done. Listen, people, this guy, there's freedom of speech, and then there's just get him off a camera, get him away from a microphone. Manny Pacquiao has went too far twice now. First, he's said homosexuality was worse than being a dog or being an animal. These people were. And now he comes out in defense of a president who's slaughtering people, and some of it not justified at all. And it's just, to me, Jesse Vargas, just stand up. Just stand up for 12, and I think Top Rank's going to give you this fight. There is no room for Manny Pacquiao no more in this, especially what's going on right now in our own country. We don't need this type of person walking around thinking or talking like this to the kids anymore.
You say that, but he's so beloved.
He's not.
And
No.
And they love Manny at Christmas
Remember,
time.
HBO dropped him, Lee. His numbers have been so bad, HBO didn't even want to deal with this fight. And you know what? I bet you they're all popping bottles right now because they didn't. Would you imagine the backlash they would have to come out and talk about what he just said right now? That God,
I get that,
is
but
anointing.
There's no opposition to it. There's no
He's anointing a man on earth to slaughter 3,000 people. That's what Manny believes. Like, people need to stand back and really think about what he's saying.
I don't think the casual boxing fan knows this. Like, the people who just know Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, Roy Jones.
It wasn't big until now. Believe me, when you put this out, I think this story is going to get a lot hotter than what it is right now. Wait until it goes viral, Lee. And I'm not saying just by us. It'll probably be a bigger news outlet that throws it out there, and that's what's going to start it. But Manny, he shouldn't get away with this one. This one, the first one was overboard. But you kind of, it's like the Kovalev thing. You could say they're from third world countries. They don't know how we are over here, what you can joke about and what you can't. This time, hey, this Manny Pacquiao has no business in front of a microphone anymore. He's done. He's over as a fighter. We all know, Lee, everyone that talks about Pacquiao that knows anything about boxing keeps saying that someone's going to use him. It's either Golden Boy is going to use him for Canelo or Top Rank's going to use him for Terrence Crawford. But nowhere in the equation are we ever saying that, Manny Pacquiao is about to go off on like a 3-fight win streak and then get another huge fight and make $25 million all over again. He is over as that type of fighter. And now the way he thinks, to me, has no business being behind a microphone. The way he talks, I don't want him to talk to these children so they can walk around and think that God actually anoints presidents on this earth to slaughter people. Think about what he's saying and who he connects to. Top Rank, if they were smart, they got to move on from him. Jesse Vargas, stand up for 12 rounds. Keep throwing your right hand. Study how Marquez landed the right hand in the fourth fight. Just keep working on it. Man, Manny's a robot. He ain't never going to change. The same punch that dropped him, that Marquez mastered, you can land it too. Fucking done
Yeah,
with Pacquiao.
I agree.